Yes, but with FJTV, so I was about 7 minutes into the video I was doing to break the cycle of no video for 3 weeks on the dot today. Yeah, my last video was obviously not last Friday, not the Friday before, but Friday before that, yeah. And plenty of things have happened in that 3 week span. I've obviously done YouTube shorts a couple of weeks ago, but again, the time was ticking over. Plenty of stuff going on, obviously. I don't always try and divulge everything onto the internet about my personal life, but main thing was, like I always say to myself, I'm not letting the negativity of the matrix, as much as it feels like it's up to me to mute it all out, mute all. See, I almost fucking dropped my phone then, yeah. But anyway, I was 7 minutes in, got interrupted, whatever it is what it is. I can't complain, it's the matrix anyway, yeah, so cool. And I'm tempted for that 7 minutes, because it's an intro, to upload it anyway and put intro, and then this is the fucking continuation. So I'm gonna just keep going anyway, yeah. So as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, demons. So basically, like I was saying, horror films, I was always watching them over the years. I apologise, there's a bit of an echo, but I'm going to keep the door open because my notes are blue tacked to the door. But for years, I was always intrigued as in, why is this meant to be scary? And then obviously going through the spiritual awakening process, doing my best to really see things with my mind's eye and trying to figure things out and see the piece of the puzzles where they're meant to go. And a lot of things started clicking along the way. And I realised I might get deep in this video, yeah. Fuck it, I'm going to upload that first bit as an intro. It is what it is, I don't really care. My OCD will kind of be tickling the back of my brain that I want to just have one video. But anyway, as I'm saying, when I saw that the latest Exorcist film, like I said, it was just shitty cash grab, typical thing. Again, when they're always based on the idea of religion, it's always kind of like, okay, it's like, oh, it's the most evil demon sent from it's Lucifer himself, and then it's a bit of holy water, the power of Christ compels you, and then everything's happy ending, or maybe there's some sort of like there at the end of the video, at the end of the film, so they can do another sequel and get another cash grab. Cool. Putting that to one side, like I said, bro, nothing we don't already know. Saying to myself in my mind, I was like, of course this would appear on the TV that I shouldn't be watching anyway. But of course it's going to appear on the TV when I've said to myself, I've got an idea for a YouTube video, yeah. So let me keep going. Another intriguing insight that I had to myself. So quickly for context, my mum, yeah, is afraid of clowns. That's her phobia, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there's a name for it. I forgot to Google it before writing this down, but I'm sure someone will know it. Shit, man, if you know what drop it in the comments here. I'm going to have to look it up afterwards to remind myself. But basically, I'll never forget when I was younger, she was like, the reason I'm scared of clowns is because when I was young, I watched the film It, as in the original from, I think, the 80s or the 90s. Obviously, it's based on Stephen King's book, whatever. But it was Pennywise the clown. And obviously, the story is the clown is a shapeshifter. And obviously, some people are scared of clowns. And obviously, all the films along the way, the horror films. Like I said in that intro that I definitely am going to upload, because I started to list things. Like I said, it's always the same sort of tropes. It's like a little demon girl or a demon woman thing with like the fucking hair in her face, or an evil weird witch, or like some sort of, fucking gaunt, weird looking humanoid uncanny valley thing, or you're in the woods and it's some sort of monster and you can hear things. And obviously there's this sort of more slasher horror tropes of like, oh, it's just a crazy inbred family, like the Hills of Eyes sort of thing, whatever. Obviously, yeah, you got things like Jaws or other monster flicks, but you get what I'm saying, yeah? Another trope, alongside, like I said, this sort of demons in the religious sense, right? Is, as I said, the sort of Pennywise and the clowns, and obviously you get the killer clowns one, and then some of them it's like, oh, it's a supernatural thing, but the reason why the It one specifically, when they did the remake, now, I remember when that was first coming out, that was 2017, that's 7 years ago, lads. Yeah, we fucking getting old, but I remember watching that in the cinema, and I think I watched part two in the cinema. I could be wrong, but I remember going to see it. My mum was like, "Oh, I could barely watch the one from back in the day, let alone this one." And I actually saw the one from back in the day, or I saw a bit of it, and I was like, "Bro, this isn't scary." But I get it, no shade to obviously mums do whatever. But Cole went to this one again. 2017 was, I wouldn't even say anywhere close to being on any sort of awakening, but I mean, shit, man, really, from, like I said, really, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then I would have been 20 in 2017, obviously. Quick maths, Josh. But in those sort of years, I was still part, you know, I wouldn't even say blue pilled, but I kind of like understood how things run in the world, and I was just cracking on, bro. But at the end of the day, I was, you know, playing the game of the Matrix, is what it is, whatever, cool. But even back then, bro, I remember seeing the film, and I remember it sort of clicked in my mind of like, of course, this idea of like a shape shifting thing, that it becomes anything you're scared of. Of course, that in and of itself is meant to be scary, because it's like, oh my god, my worst fear is going to manifest in front of me. But I remember being literally sat in the cinema watching that thing to myself. I can't even envision what it would meant to be for Muggins over here, for Josh here. Not because, oh, I'm not scared of anything, but I remember trying to, typical me, trying to articulate these kind of thoughts back in the day with the people around me. Some of the people I still consider brothers to this day, but they're on their own path, and it's not up to me to sort of shake people up, you know, them ones, brothers. I can just embody what I embody, keep it stepping, and then if people want to take things on board, is what it is, or have certain conversations, cool. But anyway, I remember trying to articulate this at the time, like, I was like, what's it gonna, you know, what's Pennywise gonna morph into? Because really, bruv, again, making the joke, and I know Brian Callen on the Joe Rogan podcast, they kind of took the piss out of him for saying it, but he was like, oh, I wish a demon would jump out of me. Basically making the joke of like, yeah, I'd fucking start tussling with it. Now, obviously, again, jokes aside, and without dragging the video on unnecessarily longer than it needs to be, any sort of idea of a supernatural entity, of course, if it's, you know, outside of the realms of space and time, if I can't fucking punch it in the face, then it can't hit me in the face. But as we know, again, with these demon possession films, it's always the same sort of stuff. And again, with the Insidious franchise, there's ones where they've got the idea of the astral dimension. That's a story for another day. That's a story for another day. But if you know what I'm talking about, if you know, you know what I mean? Like lucid dreaming, astral projection, astral traveling, all of that sort of stuff. We know what's going on, bruv, yeah. And the same way I said it in that intro video, just going to really annoy me that these are going to have to be a part 1 and a part 2. But it is what it is, bruv. I'm not wasting 7 minutes of whatever, yeah? Even though it's on the camera, but cool. Again, as I'm saying, all these horror tropes, yeah, bringing it full circle. A, none of it is actually scary in a realistic sense. All it is jump scares and pixels on a screen. The same way that, yeah, pixels are that with semen retention. Yeah, and I'm going to get to that, but cool. But to get deeper on this video, yeah, like I'm saying, with the breath work, one thing I will say, and this is something that I didn't technically put on my notes, but I know it was sort of there when I read between the lines. Tell a lie it is, because I can see it right there on my notes. And I don't want to drag this on. But yeah, cool. Okay, let me say, all right, point 1, point 2, point 3. Let me try and remember that. The one thing that I sort of figured out when I'm, again, like I said, doing the meditation, the breath work, when, again, like I say, with fighting the urges, fighting the demons, yeah? I said it in an older video, say it again in this one. When I say it, sometimes I'm being facetious, sometimes I mean it literally, bro. But the same way with the breath work, yeah, and the meditation, and it goes hand in hand. And like I said, when you really do, almost like I say, bro, I'm tapping into whatever the ultimate source of creation is. I'm saying, give me whatever wisdom, whatever the truth is. I don't care how deep it gets, bro. I don't care how dark it gets. And that's the point, bro. And this is the funny thing with the reason why I always say I hate the phrase spirituality, and I hate to use the same blanket terms, but ultimately I understand I'm programmed with a certain language, yeah? And I'll just do my best to articulate the points as best I can. But there's a big thing in this spiritual community where it's all love and light, and it's all, oh, you know, you just, if we raise our vibrations, as much as I agree with the notion of you can't really help what they're doing over there, but something that I've said, and I've said it in a few videos, but I'll say it again in this one, I can't help it, because I keep my ears to the streets and I see things, as much as I do my best to mute out everything and go inwardly, but I'm still, you know, in the system, whatever. Currently, hey, off-grid soon, is what it is, cool, whatever. Well, as I'm saying, I see too much spiritual bypassing in that sense, and again, I'm all for people saying, oh, I'm a warrior of light and this, that and the other, but shit, man, bruv, and I'm not mincing my words, bruv, and I said it last year, and it's funny how this year I can really stand on my 10 toes and really say it with every ounce of my being and say, I am a real life warrior, so how about that, yeah? And the same way, not even to dig up a point I've made 2-3 times in a couple of videos, some aren't even still on the channel, but when I see certain people talking about semen retention, even talking about the tantric, bruv, but some of them are too quick to, again, more spiritual bypassing, more spiritual ego, because you're not going to fool me, you're not going to pull the wool over my eyes, because this ain't wool, bruv, because I'm not a sheep. How about that? Yeah. Oh yeah, some of these people, they can't transmute the energy, and then they're brrr with the gym and brrr. How about you, me? Because you're so spiritual, so you've got these spiritual powers, yeah? So how about, should we get in an octagon? Light sparring, bruv. I'll put the 16-ounce gloves on, bruv. You ain't got to feel these bare knuckles, bruv. But they're not about that life, are they? And I'll get it. They could be so quick to be like, you've got childhood trauma and demons to work on, because otherwise, why would you say these things, Joshua? But again, it's because, yeah, like I said, real life warrior. But putting that to one side, because it's not an ego thing. Because like I said, bro, I said to myself, can't just be in that gym, and I can't just be lifting weights, bro. I got to be in the dojo, and I got to be hitting the pads, hitting the bags, sparring with people, letting people, bro. They're gonna punch you in the face, bro. Doing the sparring competitions, I didn't even want to do them, bro. Yeah, didn't even want to do the interclubs like that. Done 2 of them this year. Yeah, I said I want to do, not even want to, I will. Yeah, but have the proper Muay Thai fights. I'm not gonna get a warning for punching someone too hard in a fight. Lo and behold, hey, let me not get on my soapbox here. I know I've got a bit of caffeine in my system, as some of the current subscribers might be able to tell. I'm 11 minutes in. I've already got 7 minutes as an intro in that first video. Let me keep it going. As I'm saying, bro, all of what I'm saying, let me keep it going, yeah, and do my best to bring it full circle. One of the things with the meditation and the breath work that clicked in my mind, again, like I said, when it's, you feel that energy around you. And I know some people talk about like mirror gazing as well as sun gazing and all this other stuff. And again, I've seen some people saying, you're calling in evil spirits by doing that. Of course, if that's what you think is going to happen, you're going to create that for yourself. But if you do just stare into your own eyes in a mirror, imagine you're doing like a face-off like they're doing the UFC or One Championship or any other martial arts events or boxing, whatever. But even if you're just staring into your own eyes, not only will you realise the illusion of these pixels start to go a bit blurry, but you can also see as well, if you almost tell yourself, I'm going to contort my face into a sort of demonic or sort of like intense facial expression, like we see in these horror films. Like I said, again, obviously some of them it's like CGI and shit. But as I said, if it's like a demonic child or a demonic girl with the hair in her face, or like a witch, like one of these weird fucking, oh, it's Lucifer himself. Or what's another one that I'm thinking of? The red-faced demon, which is the thumbnail I used for the video when I'm talking about being fearless in a horror film. Horror game? I thought horror film, wouldn't it? There was a name for that demon, but fuck it, because it doesn't really matter. But my point being, when you sort of look yourself, this human vessel, and almost contort your face in weird ways, sometimes from doing the breath work, like when I'm sort of like, or like, because I'm clicking my jaw, or I'm trying to like really fill my lungs, and sometimes I catch my reflection, like it looks strange, and I get it, and I'm self-aware. Same way I watch this back, and I know I look a bit like fucking Ace Ventura in, is it Pet Detective? Or is it when nature calls in it, where he goes to the African tribe in his hair, and they call him a white devil, and it's kind of funny, but whatever. Anyway, because obviously this is an illusion. It's about, it's not even about Josh speaking. But anyway, as I said, understanding that, where was I going with that point? Again, there's no fear, so let them come lurking. The same way, bruv, last night, these notes, when I show you the notes pages, there's going to be some weird drawings on there, and again, because when I'm meditating, and it's almost like I let my pen go, I'm like just downloading the thoughts. There's no, I'm not thinking, Josh and the food I eat today, and then my ego, and I drive my, no, bruv, it's just whatever's coming to my mind, and I'm writing everything down, and then sometimes I start fucking doing the little doodles, the little illustrations to go along my points, and it comes full circle always. And I realise I'm kind of slowly backing myself into a corner as I'm 14 minutes in, but that was the next point. Yeah, cool. So, as we know, the more you raise a vibration, the more the negativity, because it's, again, the yin and the yang. I can leave that point there without going down another rabbit hole. And I'll quickly touch on the point that's on the next note. Obviously, as always, man, shout out Mr. Traumatic with the music. But when he released a song called Spinal Fluid, straight away, bro, I was like, not only finally is he making a song that you could argue is about semen retention, but obviously spinal fluid alone still can be relatable for women for obvious reasons, because we all have the same infrastructure to a degree, yeah. Still to burp, excuse me. But straight away I was like, oh, this is again another synchronicity when I'm saying to myself, you know, SR, of course, it's a lifestyle, we keep it going. I still say count the days, and again with the whole demons thing, as much as, like I said, if I don't believe in these actual sort of religious Beelzebub, Lucifer, whatever the fuck, but I know how this simulation works, and I understand there is dark forces and there is other realms and other dimensions that we can't specifically see things. But when you do tap in to other frequencies and other dimensions, sometimes you can sort of catch a glimpse of certain things, yeah. Or like I said, with when I've done it, I'll happily say it, bruv. In previous times, since starting the channel, yeah, I'm doing my breath work in the evening, the lights are off, I've sometimes just got the ambient light of the TV in my room. This is in the old house and my old living situation, yeah. Don't have a TV in this entire house, I just use this phone. But anyway, and it's like I'll be there in the darkness, whatever's on the TV, but I'm thinking, yeah, meditation, breath work, whatever. More than likely been to the gym in the day, more than likely got caffeine in the system. But again, fighting the demons of the SR and the urges and thinking, no, I'm on X amount of days, I know minimum 90 days, and then from there, almost like re-project forward, okay, I need to go another 90 days into the future, and then lo and behold, that'll be 180 days, which is almost half a year, obviously, you know, 365 days in a year, so technically 182 and a half days will be half of the year. Well, you get what I'm saying, yeah? And like I said, man, when sometimes it'd be like I'll be doing, or I get that weird psychedelic feeling, like I said, with that specific yoga pose, yeah, and I'm going to get to that. And again, like I said, with Mr. Traumatic, with the song about the spinal fluid, I might leave a link, but do your own research, bro. Yeah, I don't need to do everything for people, but I'll put it in the description anyway. But how, for one, can I tap into the wisdom if I'm draining not only with the SR, semen retention, but as we know, that's your Kundalini energy, that's the serpent, that's the cobra that snakes its way up your spine, your spinal cord, and the head of the cobra opens up like a lotus flower, yeah? And all this symbology and all this wisdom that comes from all these different dots all over the world, because ultimately we are all connected to the same source. Of course, no shit, right, yeah? But as I'm saying again, we can see through the illusions of the Matrix. And as I'm saying, there was times when I was doing that breath work and I'm saying, okay, of course the demons want me to drain me of this energy, and then suddenly they all disappear, bruv. But when I really do meditate and I really do allow them, and I can hear the whispers, bruv, sometimes, yeah, and I can hear them calling my name. And when I say that, bruv, I'm low-key being facetious, because I know it sounds fucking schizophrenic to say. Because the same way if someone's like, oh, he's hearing voices, I can just turn around and go, oh man, I'm just joking. I don't mean literally. No, it's like you know, when you want a Macca's and you're driving past and you smell it and you're like, oh, I won't, I'm on a diet, lads. I'm going Ibiza with the boys in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I can just say it's like that, brother, and then, yeah, Josh ain't crazy. But anyway, I'm almost 20 minutes in. Let me slowly wrap up the video, because sometimes when I feel like I'm backing myself into a bit of a corner, I don't want to drag this on unnecessarily. I'll probably watch this back and be like, because I'll make the points and then I know I'll get on tangents, but I do my best to bring it full circle. But that's basically what I've been saying, bro. Yeah, so the last few weeks, understanding, reminding myself, difference between knowing the path and walking the path. I got to keep walking the path. As soon as I try and fight against the Matrix too much, rather than going with the flow, not necessarily the flow of the Matrix, because I know how the AI works and I know how the demons work, like I've been talking about in this video, and the Agent Smiths and the AI. I think I said AI initially anyway, but anyway,